Welcome back to the Harvest to Table video channel, where we help you grow your own fresh produce at home. Today, we're getting your garden ready for planting, looking at all the steps you'll need to take to prepare your garden for growing vegetables and herbs. Whether you're starting from scratch or revitalizing an existing bed, we'll show you how to build and maintain soil that will support productive plants for years to come. A well-prepared garden bed provides the best foundation for growing vegetables, herbs, and flowers. Creating a new bed is a one-time effort that, with proper care, will yield long-term results. And if you have an existing bed that is losing productivity, stay tuned. We'll cover how to restore and refresh it for continued success. Let's get started with 10 steps to prepare a vegetable or herb garden bed. Step 1. Pick the perfect spot. Before you start digging, choosing the right location is key to a thriving vegetable garden. Most veggies need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight each day, so find a spot that soaks up plenty of sunshine. Avoid areas shaded by trees or buildings. Your plants need all the light they can get. Good air circulation is important, but you'll also want to avoid strong winds that could damage young plants. And don't forget about water. A nearby hose bib or water source will make irrigation a breeze. Drainage matters. Choose a spot where water doesn't pool after rain. Soggy soil can lead to root rot. If possible, keep your garden bed close to your home or garden shed for easy access. A convenient location means you're more likely to tend to your plants regularly, and that means better harvests. Step 2. Map your garden. Once you've chosen the perfect spot, it's time to map out your garden. Measure the area you have available and sketch it out in a notebook or on graph paper to visualize your layout before you start digging. This helps you plan for the right number of beds, ensure proper spacing, and make the most of your available space. Think about bed size and accessibility. Raised beds or in-ground rows should be narrow enough so you can reach the center without stepping on the soil. Consider pathways between beds for easy movement and leave room for trellises if you're growing climbing plants like beans or cucumbers. A well-thought-out layout means a more organized, productive garden. Step 3. Size the beds for easy access. To keep your garden healthy and easy to maintain, design the planting beds so you can reach the center of each bed without stepping on the soil. Compacted soil makes it harder for roots to grow and water to drain properly. A good rule of thumb is to make planting beds that are no wider than 48 inches. That will allow you to reach the center from each side of the bed. If your arms are short, 36 inches is better. You should be able to reach the middle of the bed from either side without stepping into the bed. If your bed is up against a wall, fence, or another obstacle where you can only work from one side, make sure it's no wider than the length of your arm, usually around 24 inches. Keeping the bed a manageable width makes planting, weeding, and harvesting much easier while protecting your soil structure for healthier, more productive plants. Step 4. Keep bed lengths practical. When deciding on the length of your planting beds, think about convenience. You don't want to walk a long way just to get around to the other side, and you don't want to be tempted to take a risky leap over your plants. Keep your beds a manageable length so you can easily move wheelbarrows, tools, soil amendments, and hoses where needed without extra hassle. A well-sized bed makes gardening more efficient and prevents the temptation to step into cultivated soil which can lead to compaction and poor plant growth. Plan for accessibility now, and your future self will thank you. Step 5. Marking your planting beds. To keep your garden neat and organized, use wooden or metal stakes to clearly define the corners of each planting bed as you get started. Start by driving a stake into each corner, ensuring they're firmly in place. Then, stretch garden twine between the stakes to outline the shape of your bed. Before digging, take a moment to check that the corners are squared. This ensures straight edges and a tidy layout. Well-marked beds not only makes your garden look great, but also simplifies planting, watering, and ongoing maintenance. Step 6. Leave room for paths. As you design your garden, be sure to leave room for paths around the outside of each planting bed. If you are using a wheelbarrow or garden cart, paths about 72 inches wide should be wide enough to maneuver the cart. Be sure each path is at least wide enough for you to turn around comfortably and set down a basket at harvest time. Paths can be compacted soil, gravel, grass, ground cover bark, stepping stones, or wooden planks. Your planting beds should be easy to work in all kinds of weather. Make sure path material is suitable for all seasons. Step 7. Preparing the ground for the planting bed. Once your location is selected, begin by removing all weeds, grass, and debris to create a clean surface for planting. You can pull weeds by hand or use a garden hoe for efficiency. For larger areas, consider laying plastic sheeting or cardboard for a few weeks to smother weeds naturally before planting. After clearing the area, it's time to loosen the soil. Use a garden fork or rototiller to break up ground that has never been worked before to a depth of at least 8 to 12 inches. This will improve soil aeration and make it easier for plant roots to grow and access nutrients. Step 8. Preparing a ground-level bed. A ground-level bed is a planting area where the soil is prepared directly in the ground without being raised or contained by a structure. To create one, loosen the soil to a depth of 12 inches, which is about 1 shovel blade deep, breaking up compacted areas and removing any rocks, pebbles, or old roots. If the soil has a high clay content, double digging to a depth of 24 inches or 2 shovel blades deep can improve drainage and root growth, creating a healthier environment for plants. As you work, break up large dirt clods and mix in organic matter like compost, well-rotted manure, or a high-quality planting mix. This helps boost soil fertility, improves texture, and enhances moisture retention. If your soil is sandy, add aged compost or an organic planting mix to help retain water. For heavy clay soil, mix in sand and organic matter to open the clay and improve drainage and aeration. Before adding amendments, it's a good idea to test your soil. This will tell you if you need to adjust pH levels or add specific nutrients to create the ideal growing conditions. You can get a simple soil testing kit at a nearby garden center. Once your amendments are worked in, rake the bed smooth to create an even planting surface. This step ensures your seeds or transplants have the best possible start in rich, well-prepared soil. With a properly prepped bed, your garden will be set up for strong, healthy growth all season long. Step 9. Creating a mounded or raised bed. If your soil is rocky, clay-heavy, or sandy, a mounded or raised bed might be the perfect solution. Raised and mounded beds improve drainage, prevent soil compaction, and give your plants a better growing environment. A mounded bed is a raised heap of soil, about 8 to 12 inches high, created by piling and shaping a mix of topsoil, compost, and organic matter without using a frame. It improves drainage and is easy to set up. A raised bed, on the other hand, is enclosed by a structure made of wood, metal, or bricks, typically 12 inches or taller, offering more durability, defined growing space, and better soil control. While both improve soil conditions, mounded beds are quick and cost-effective, whereas raised beds provide long-term stability and structure. Both types of beds benefit from the same soil mix, a blend of high-quality topsoil, compost, and aged manure. To create a mounded bed, start by loosening the existing soil to improve drainage and root penetration. Remove any weeds, rocks, or debris, then mix in compost, aged manure, and organic matter to enrich the soil. Shape the bed by piling soil into a mound about 8 to 12 inches high and 36 to 48 inches wide, allowing access to the center of the bed from both sides. Smooth and firm the surface with a rake, ensuring the mound has gently sloping sides to prevent erosion. To build a raised bed, you'll need untreated, rot-resistant lumber like cedar, redwood, or pressure-treated pine, with 2x6 or 2x8-inch boards for the sides and 4x4 or 2x4-inch posts for corner support. Have the sideboards cut to the desired length. 8 feet is typical. Start by positioning one long board and one shorter board perpendicularly at a corner. Secure the boards to a corner post, or simply nail or screw the boards together. Repeat this for the other corners. Alternatively, you can use prefab end connectors made of metal, plastic, or concrete with connecting slots for an easy setup. Now it's time to add soil. For a 12-inch high raised or mounded bed, mix together a blend of high-quality topsoil, planting mix, and aged manure. That's 50% topsoil with 25% compost and 25% aged manure. This blend will give your plants the perfect balance of nutrients and drainage. For a 4x8-foot raised bed, you'll need 16 cubic feet of topsoil. That's about 10 bags, if packaged as 1.5 cubic feet. You'll need 8 cubic feet of planting mix. That's 7 bags, if packaged as 1.5 cubic feet. And you'll need 8 cubic feet of aged steer manure. That's 6 bags, if packaged as 1.5 cubic feet. Add to this blend 1 pound of 10-10-10 fertilizer, or a balanced, slow-release organic fertilizer to give plants a nutrient boost. Once the soil blend is in place, you're ready to plant. Step 10. Planting plants and maintaining the bed. Healthy soil is the backbone of any productive vegetable garden. Most vegetables grow best in soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. If the pH is outside this range, you can adjust it by adding lime to raise it or sulfur to lower it, helping your plants absorb nutrients more effectively. You can enrich your soil by adding organic matter like aged compost, well-rotted manure, or leaf mold. This improves soil structure, boosts water retention, and enhances nutrient availability. If your soil is heavy with clay, mix in sand or perlite to improve drainage. For sandy soils, aged compost or coconut coir helps retain moisture. You can also add a balanced organic fertilizer to ensure your plants have all the nutrients they need for healthy growth. Before planting, rake the soil to create a smooth, level surface. For direct seeding, follow the recommended depth and spacing for each crop, gently pressing seeds into the soil and covering them lightly. Keep the soil consistently moist, but not soggy until seedlings appear. For transplants, dig holes slightly larger than the root ball, spacing the plants based on their needs. Gently remove seedlings from their containers, being careful not to disturb the roots, and plant them at the same depth they were growing in their pots. Firm the soil around each plant and water thoroughly to help them settle in. Once your planting bed is established, avoid deep digging or stepping into it again. Instead, simply add aged compost and other planting amendments across the top to keep the soil nourished. A great practice is to feed your soil twice a year by adding 2 to 3 inches of organic mix or a blend of aged manure and compost. Mulch around your plants to help retain moisture, suppress weeds, and regulate soil temperature. Organic mulches like straw, shredded leaves, or grass clippings break down over time, enriching the soil with additional nutrients. Regular watering, especially during dry spells, and keeping an eye on pests and diseases will ensure your plants thrive all season long. Revitalizing a previously used planting bed. If you've used a planting bed in the past, it's important to revitalize it before planting again to ensure healthy soil and plants. Remove any leftover plant debris and weeds to reduce the risk of pests and diseases. Add several inches of aged compost, aged manure, and planting mix to replace nutrients your previous crops took up. Lightly turn the soil to mix in the amendments. This will not only add nutrients to the soil, but also improve soil oxygen flow and water penetration. A winter cover crop of clover or fava beans will protect the soil from wet and cold weather while adding nutrients to the soil. And there you have it. Just like that, your garden bed is prepped and ready for planting. Preparing an outdoor planting bed properly sets the stage for a successful garden. By selecting the right location, improving soil quality, and providing optimal growing conditions, you can ensure your garden will grow strong and productive. If you find this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Harvest to Table channel for more gardening tips. Hit the share button to send this video to a friend. Please let us know in the comments if you have any questions or tips, and let us know what you're growing this season. If you'd like to read our planting bed guides at harvesttotable.com, click on the links in the notes below. Thank you for watching today and happy gardening. See you in the next video.